Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life Series 12, 30 Days of Sketches. This is from Kaz's mom, or Jennifer Gagne. This is also a take two, which is a series that I am doing. Sorry about that little bit of the shake to start with. And so that's the paper I'm using. It's from a paper pad that could have been a Michael's. The take two series is where I take the same event and I do the same or similar photos and I do another scrapbook page. And I do this because I have two kiddos who have very similar pages that need to go in their scrapbook albums. And they have very different styles and they were very different, even little like this. Neither of them like pink anymore, but my oldest loved pink at this time. So I am going to use pink. So as you can see, I'm using my ruler to tear today. If you watched yesterday's layout, which is mostly in green, I did not use my ruler, and I probably should have. This was so much easier. I don't know why I don't remember to do this when I tear all the time, but I don't. Then I remember, and then I do it. So it is what it is, I guess. So this last piece is going to get torn, and I'm centering that a little bit as I go, just so I know I have enough along each of those edges. And so I just turned it around to figure out where I wanted it. I have this wide piece of double-sided tape from scrapbook.com, and I'm just going to eyeball this and get it on. I have not replaced my tape runner yet, so I'm going to use a little more of this thick double-sided tape, and I'm going to put it on just in a couple strategic spots on the back of this so that I can get it centered where I want it to be and then pull that out. But in the meantime, I am going to tear the outside corners like it is in this sketch. So Kaz mom, or Jennifer, has it going mostly along the right side and on the bottom of the left side. I'm just going to do a little bit here instead of the almost the whole way. So it just peeks out and line it up. I like that. Just pop this on to make sure there's room. And then I'm going to use my wet glue and I'm going to get this glued on. Just line up that straight edge, which makes it super easy. And then I'll just cut this piece off and that side's good to go. And I am going to do it on this other side as well. On the other side, I'm going to actually, instead of on the bottom, I'm going to do it on the top so it has a diagonal kind of feel to it. And same kind of idea. And get that little scrap on. And then I had flipped my photos and I actually like it better on the top and the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. So I like that. I'm going to use my T-square and I'm going to get it centered horizontally and vertically. And I know that's overlapping a little bit on the top, but I'll deal with that in a second. So I really like the double-sided tape when you have something big like this that you want centered, because you just peel off the corner, hold it down, and get it stuck. And so there's less fussing around and it moving on you, I find, when I do it this way for a big piece like this where I want the center for photos actually centered on my page. So easy peasy, other than when the backing does want to come off, but there it goes. And then I do know that I want to have a little bit more pink in between those two, so I'm just going to do a little bit of tearing here. It's going to get a little more fussing around a little later, but and then my take one of this layout is in green and it has the Sage Green 49 and Market frame strip, so I was thinking maybe of doing something really similar, and I don't. So sorry about that shake to start with. I go into all my pink stuff and find my pink things. So this chipboard that I'm just putting on here says the little details make the story. That is an Allie Edwards one. It actually came from her Details story kit. And then I just put these paper flowers on. There was a foot hanging out of the bottom of where that paper flower is. So I just wanted to cover it up, and I'm going to use these paper flowers in lots of different strategic spots. I just sped this up just a little bit more because I do a bunch of fussing about, and yeah, it gets a little, I don't know, I think sometimes it gets a little boring to watch all the fussing about, but I can make it go faster, so lovely editing. That chipboard I just put down that's beside that star there says, I love this type of day. And I think that's an Allie Edwards as well. And this Love This is definitely an Allie Edwards that I just put down for the chipboard. And so the stars might be Allie Edward, but they actually might be Studio Calico too. They are a wood veneer and they're pink, so they work out really well on this one. And so I'm just sticking them around. That bottom corner is already done. And so now I'm looking at this top corner, embellishing it. So I'm going to cut this flower in half like I did the other one. I'm going to try and do a whole bunch of piecing it together and playing around. It's not going to stay there. These little ones aren't going to stay there either. I'm just not liking what's going on at the top here. So thinking about it, and so I do want those stars, and I know that. I tried that flare again, it doesn't stay. I like this real life chipboard that is from a long time ago. Um, and so I'm just looking at that. That Wonder title came off because it wasn't actually following the diagonal and it was just too much out of that diagonal now. So I decided, nope, not really feeling it. And so I pull in this sticker butterfly. So I think that's going to go somewhere because most of my oldest daughter's pages have a butterfly on them somewhere. And then this real life is going to get snuck in behind this paper layer. So it just peeks out. And then that makes it so I'm like, yep, I like this now. And then these paper ones can go up and around it. And that wood veneer and some of the puffy stars. I tried to get this other one on, but I don't want to cut it, so it's just not going to make it there. And then I popped up the wings of the butterfly, and it's going to go in here. And some more puffies. These are either Studio Calico or Allie Edwards. And then these are dollar store glitter enamel dots. So they've got some really great color to them, and I'm just pulling off the pink ones and sprinkling them here, there, and everywhere. So I thought maybe of using the pink one in the middle of those paper flowers, but I don't like the pink on the pink there. And I have that yellow one in the bottom, so I'm going to use the yellow instead. And then this yellow goes on that flower, which hides the blue, which was bugging me because there's no more blue on here. And so that works. And so just putting it in the middle parts where I need it. And one up on top here, and just sliding them in. So those worked out well. And now I'm going to do my title. I'm not going to make you watch it all. And so it's going to go right above on this line, just because I like the little bit of black there. And so it's going to say Parks Canada Day. And that Y just gets slid underneath a little bit, but you can still read it, and I like it. That one star I had to glue back on because it was moving around. And then a couple hearts around that Parks Canada Day. Sorry about the wiggle. I'm not sure why it was wiggling. Maybe my dog was bumping stuff. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of journaling. And so my journaling says, every year Alberta and Canada Parks has a day to explore. This year we were camping at Po Valley and we were surprised by it at the top of our hike. And so I'm just do some messy lines, going to just write on it. And then I'm just going to go and underline it all a little bit messy, and I'm not going to worry about it. I do have to look up what the date is and add the date on here later, and then it gets an enamel dot and a couple puffy hearts around that just to tie it in a little bit. I decided it needed a puffy star in a little different spot in that middle chipboard piece. And this layout is done. So I'm just going to pull it up here for a quick little glance at it, but there'll be some still shots coming up right away. I really appreciate you here today. If you wanted to see another one of my take twos, actually the take one of this in green, it is linked here in the at the end. There's also subscribe if you haven't subscribed to me yet. I would appreciate that. And thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you here. Have yourself a great day.